Alright, welcome back everyone. 欢迎大家回来。今天是第487天 is day 487, and it is a special day today for 487. We're doing the last of our characters. So there are 12 remaining characters in the 3,869. So we're going to be switching over to like a different, like an intermediate routine. We kind of swapped over for the non-HSK section. So the majority of the non-HSK section was used to primarily focus on character studies. And that the little slope here, the slope change. It's probably around the end of March when we really just swapped over. Largely because they are lacking vocabulary words. There are some vocabulary words to be picked up. So out of this 869 that we'll have, I think there is going to be 50 or 60 lessons we can unlock after catching up on our reviews. So we'll be switching over for the remainder of the days. So that would leave us with 12 or 11 days technically before the 500. I'll try to prepare a 500-day review as per usual, and as well as the Wanikani's 500-day review. But both are coming to an end soon, and we'll be switching over to the final stage, which is pretty much maintenance. HanziHero will then be replaced, possibly, with something else. In the meantime, my sessions are getting progressively shorter because we're kind of getting into a transition period for some other projects. So today is our last characters. There is consideration for simplified Chinese, right? Since this is the traditional Chinese course. However, I have to return to finishing up whatever the Duolingo Chinese course update is, and Duolingo Chinese is in simplified Chinese. So we'll try to integrate whatever traditional Chinese reading that we have and then create the associations when we revisit Duolingo Chinese. Actually, that is probably what the plan is going to be. We'll do like a little bit of exercise review. Once we catch up with reviews, we'll see how the workload is like, and if that is the case, then we'll probably go back to Duolingo Chinese and see what the update was like. I have to check to see if the Windows, like not the Windows, but the PC version is in fact updated. If it is, we'll go back, fill it in. It's not really going to take that long. We're seeing how far it covers, compare and contrast if there were any quality of life changes and whatnot. It's also true for Japanese. However, we have Boom Pro for this year's project. So Boom Pro is the main project outside of something related to gaming that I kind of want to do. So Persona is the major thing that I kind of want to work on this year. Besides that, we have to negotiate October coming up, so lots of artwork to be done. So let's do our final 12 characters, right? It won't be the last time. We'll probably be talking about character studies or as long as it's applicable and if I find interest in it, right? Okay. Bing. All right, so Bing. There really isn't a Bing in there. There's a Shi for Wade. Shi. Oh, it's Sh. Dang it. Which one am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of Ping for frequency. Okay, well played. I think we're gonna use frequency here. Sh is just water. There wasn't a page in it. Okay, So we'll use frequency. That's pretty much what the thing I'm doing right now is pretty much the change up I'm going to be talking about on the 500-day review. The 500-day tentative takes of HanziHero, I suppose. Or I could call it a concluding remark because I'm not entirely sure if I'm planning on summarizing anything else afterwards. I have a little over a week to think about what I'm going to say about it. The longest project that I've recorded so far. Alright, so Bigfoot, front of infirmary. Close to. Spray. Not the greatest. Observing the frequency of I could also use wave for that of the I guess spray of people that stay close to the infirmary, keeping close, making sure go close to his don't come sure he doesn't get too close to visitors. It's not the greatest.
冰玉
You. You for the right, bottom right. Desire and lust, whichever one. Or more. Oh no, it's more. Which one's desire? So please is the soul. Covet is the eyes. Oh, desire is using something entirely different. Does this word ordering feel hard to read to you? Is that true, or does even art need to follow? I don't know where you're getting that order. I'm not even sure what or does even art need to follow. If art is the subject, I mean, sure. I don't think it's an order. I think it's punctuation. Like you're using even to the extent. So the adverb, in my opinion, the adverb needs to be closer to the verb. It's too far away from the noun. So, or does art even need to follow, as opposed to, or does even art need to follow, in my opinion, which is the same thing we talked about when James was first introduced way back, when you placed your adverb away from your verb and then having a noun in between. It's not hard to follow. I mean, it's still, you can still use that. I wouldn't personally. That's separating the extent, the adverb from the verb phrase. So it can mean two things when you say it that way. If that's what you type to someone. Would you suggest to remove the even? No. You can just remove the even. Or does art even need to follow? So, like, or does even art, right, need to follow? You can move even here and it'll read as does, or does art even need to follow? Because you're talking about extent. This is extent. Or you add a modifier. Does it even matter that art need to follow? Right. Or does... Oh, you would need another... You would probably need it too. Does it even matter that art need to follow? I don't know. There's so many ways. It's unclear. It's unclear. That's why I wouldn't say it that way. It's unclear whether how you're using the word even. The nuance of the second one doesn't feel fitting with the rest of the context. The nuance of the second one doesn't feel fitting with the rest of the context. I'm trying to say, does art also need to follow? I know. So, I know what you're trying to say. So, does art even need to follow? And then when you're talking about, does it also need to follow? You're also talking about the extent of whether it matters. So does it even matter that art needs to follow? You're asking, does art also need to follow? Right. You could simply say, does art also need to follow? Right? You can replace the word even with also. Even can be a degree as well. So that makes it ambiguous. You're not saying also, you're saying even. Even is a degree, or it can mean also, as in like equal also. Like even, as in you and I are even, or like 1 is equal to 1, even. But even is an extent. So it can be any degree, like up to the need to follow. So does art have up to the need to follow? Despite need being an absolute or a threshold. So need is a threshold. And you decide to apply a threshold. So now this is up to. So up to the need of a follow, which is redundant. So if you're using even need is typically a threshold. So saying up to the need of something is redundant. So you can remove even. Right? Does art follow? Like, does art need to follow? That's That's it, because it's not the extent anymore. Need is an endpoint. If you're saying also, is that true, or does art need to follow? Does this work? Is that true, or does art need to follow? So your ... is lacking. So because you wrote "is that true," and then you said you have a comma, or, that would mean that whatever you're saying is true is that art needs to follow. So whatever you're asking, if it's true, it's also saying the same thing. Unless you mean or does art need to follow, as in whatever this is saying art doesn't need to follow. And or is contrasting. So putting ... is not helpful. And then putting ... after follow is not helpful either. Because I don't know what point you're trying to make. Like, is it true that art doesn't need to follow rules? Or does art need to follow without a comma? Or you're trying to say art needs to follow rules? Or, like, is that true? Like, art needs to follow rule. Like, someone said something and said, is that true? Or does art need to follow? As in, you're saying two things the same. So, like, if it is true, like, it's hard to know what you're trying to say. Like, there isn't a point to is it true when you put in the ... I don't understand why you're making a or comment here. I have no idea what you're trying to say here. You're either saying someone said something and you're saying, is it true? And then you're saying, does art need to follow it? Is what I think you're trying to say. So whatever is true, you're saying to me, and does art need to follow it? So there really isn't. I have no idea. I have a lot of questions. I have no idea why you wrote it that way. Alright, so you more get well. Alright. I think the word, the conjugation, I think the thing you're looking for is that. Is it true that art needs to follow or not? Though, is that true? Or does art need to follow? Though, is that true? Yeah, that's already. Though, is that true? Or does art need to follow ingrained rules into each of us since we first enter the world too, even if it's only a subconscious? That's a run-on. That's a. I think that's a run-on. It's missing. It's missing a subject. So, though is okay, but it's although. I would say although it is true. It is true. Actually, I have no idea if you guys are. Hang on, I gotta read that again because. So is that true? So. I have no idea what the first though means. Yeah, that's even more confusing. now I'm even more confused. Either Mika is trying to say, is it true that dot dot dot, which makes it the same direction, or you're trying to draw a contrast that although it is true, does art have to follow or need to follow? Or whether it is true, does art need to follow? Like there's so many ways, but none of them comes from what was written. But is that true, or does art rules ingrain us? Yeah, even if those influence exist only subconsciously. Yeah, that's fair. Yep. So the idea is, the confusing thing that I'm having a problem is, are you trying to make a contrast statement, a regardless statement, or a confirmation statement, or a confirmation? Like, so a confirmation would be, is it true that art? A regardless statement is, although it is true, does art need to follow? Right? That's a regardless statement. Even if it's true, whatever the statement is, whether it's true or not, does art need to follow it? And then a contrast statement is, though it is true, does art need to follow it? So one is, okay, it's true, but you're asking, does art need to follow it? Like, does it need to be followed? And then the other one is, even though it's true, like regardless if it's true or not, does art need to follow it? And then confirmation is it true? And is it true that art need to follow it? Or is it true and art need to follow it? This is independence. So you can also say, is it true and art need to follow it? And does art need to follow it? So in one way, they're both independent, whether it's true or not, like two different ways to express if, regardless if it's true or not, does art need to follow it? Or because it is true or it is not true, is the consequences that art need to follow it, right? So if it's true, does art need to follow it? Even though it's true, does art need to follow it? It is true and art needs to follow it. Or does art need to follow it? You think she's trying to make a contrast statement? Is she trying to challenge the previous idea that art is free, doesn't follow rules, and the possibility that art may not follow rules at all? Yes, with the word even. With the word even, which is what I suggested. So it wouldn't be though. Though doesn't make any sense. Though is not contrastive. It is directional. It's same. It's going in the same direction. So you could write although. You could add like however, whether, to provide contrast. So like or confirmation and then inquisition. So it is true, but does art need to follow it? Like, so it is true, whatever the statement was, but does art need to follow it? And she can still put in even. Does art even need to follow it? So is it true? It is true, or is it true? Right? Is it true if she's asking a question? Although make the first part a question to prevent a run-on, change the even placement. Although make the first part a question to prevent a run-on. Although make the first part a question to prevent a run-on. You can prevent a run-on at any time without using a contraction or a conjunction. So you can connect them by using a conjunction. Your conjunction is weird to me. Like, or is not the conjunction for this. It's either that, however, but. You got a lot of others, but it's not or, unless you're saying two separate statements. And then the comma or is weird because it's suggesting that the statements are in the same direction. Like, it is bad, or I screwed up. The thing you're saying is I screwed up and it is bad. Like, it is bad or I screwed up. They're in the same direction. They just simply state two things, but they're kind of related to each other. And then if you say like it is bad and I screwed up, it is the same direction too, but this is suggesting that they both happened. This is suggesting either or, but they have similar meanings. It is bad or I screwed up. So if I screwed up, it could also be bad. It is bad or I screwed up. And then it is bad and I screwed up is both. They're both confirming. So the reason why I was thinking is, you said, is it true or is that true? Is that true? Or does art, whatever, does art need to follow, right? Need to follow. So my guess is whatever this rule is something to be followed. Is how I read it the first time. Like, so the thing you're questioning, it needs to be followed. And then you're asking, does it need to be followed? So they're in the same direction. They're asking the same thing. And that's kind of what I thought. Or is or without the comma, in my opinion. Now, I'm not sure if this is grammatically correct or not, because you might need the comma for independent clauses. Let me check. Actually, let me check. Do you need a or two independent clauses? Yeah, so this prevents a comma splice and correctly separates two. So technically, it can still be there, whether or not. Yeah. So with a comma, it does connect two independent clauses. So it would be up to interpretation then. We can go to the movies. Usually they're contrastive. I guess or in this case is usually contrastive. That's interesting. However, the simplest way to say things is, you know, you ask a question. You ask the question, then that becomes an independent statement, and then you follow up, right? Even more confusing would be something like ask the question and then put or comma and then write the rest. Or is usually contrastive, so we'll stick with contrastive. I guess you're saying, if it's true, do you need to follow it, right? Do art need to follow it? Like shadowing, you know, shadows are fundamentals. You know, shadows are fundamental. I can't spell. Shadows are fundamental. Right? That's the statement. Does art need to follow it? Does art even need to follow it? Sure. Need to follow this. And you can put it. That's fine. Period. Put a period there. It's not gonna work with a semicolon, so you're probably not going to go that. However, you can put a comma and an or if you want. I don't know what happens when you have a question. Let's find out. Do you need and a comma or separate a question and statement? In informal writing. Oh, that's not the same usage there. That's a good question. Would it be okay to go over all your essays so far on the weekend? Oh, is this part of your essay? Wait, is that sentence part of your essay? Huh. Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the confusing part that I think Crazy was trying to help out, is that questions and statements, it's encouraged to separate them. So if you made a statement and then you used a conjunction to link it with the question, I don't know how often that is used. There are ways to make, like, the whole thing would become a question generally. However, you can separate them if you want, which is possible. But usually they're in the same direction if it's a question. So the easiest way to say what you're about to say was, does art, like you use a condition. So if that is true, does art need to follow? Does art even need to follow? So this creates a singular question. This is a question with a conditional. If you try to combine a statement and then you use or and then flow it into a question, I haven't ever seen, like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, for me personally, I haven't ever written something like this, where you write a statement and then you separate it by a conjunction, and these both are independent clauses. So these both are independent. And then this would end with a question, right? I don't know if you can do this. I don't think I've ever done this. The idea is you can make it into a conditional and then turn it into a question. So this would be a singular question. And that means this is a dependent clause, and this is an independent clause. So if that is true, does art even need to follow? So you're asking whether, okay, even if it's true, right? Or it is true, even if it's not true, you can do whatever. You can assume a conditional and say, does art even need to follow it? That's kind of what I think you're trying to ask. Like, if that is true, as in it is true, right? You're asserting that if it's true, does art even need to follow it? And that would be the question. It would be a singular question. Make it funny English and make it must art follow. I mean, you can still go must art follow. Yeah, it's an artsy way of saying it. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna enter the realm of funky punctuation. For example, if you want to make it like a rhetoric. So I understand what you're trying to say. You're trying to make it a rhetoric. And a rhetoric would be like, does it matter if it's true? So like, doesn't matter whatever the thing was stated before. So you're asking in a poetic way, must art follow, right? Like that's a rhetoric. So whether or not it is true, must art follow, or whatnot. That's, man, I wonder, I don't know. I don't know the answer to it. It's making me ponder about it a lot. How would that work? Is that true, or does art need to? I don't know what's true, so that just comes down to I don't know what is true. If it's art needs to follow foundations, like if you're saying art needs to follow foundations, then if it is true, does art need to follow? It's a condition. I don't know how it could ever work where you're asking, is that true, without an if. So upstream, somewhere upstream, if that is true, or that Yeah, like there's a conditional upstream somewhere, which I'm not following very well. That's the probably my problem, like my problem understanding it. So back to your original question, uh, does this word ordering feel hard to read to me? It doesn't. It's not hard to read. I just don't know what what you're trying to say. Is more, uh, the point. Like I don't know what is true. Is it dependent? Like does art need to follow depending on what? And you're saying, is that true? I don't know what is true. If it's true, does art need to follow? Is my first would be my suggestion, I suppose. Weird, interesting. What do we got? Okay. Oh yeah, we already did this. Wait, I just refreshed so I can
宾
scribble on the
喻
screen. Okay, so you were using more. This is my personal preferences, so I actually do not know if it was grammatically correct or not. I actually have no idea if you can combine a statement with a question and using a or as a conjunction between independent clauses would be grammatically correct. I actually have no idea. That's kind of the neat thing about reading people's like reading students reading like people's writing because it raises a lot of question about how much I understand about English because I don't see that too often. The essay topic is how visual art can bridge the disconnect between internal identity, physical presentation, and online personas. Fair enough. And that's a very interesting topic. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting topic. So, internal identity, physical presentation, and online personas. Those are interesting choices because internal identity is on a different level of physical, so outward presentation. However, so you're talking about someone's identity and their relationship with their online persona is what I'm trying, which I'm thinking you're trying to say. Because these are on the same level. So like an online persona has internal identity and outward presentation. So how can visual art bridge the disconnect between I almost want to say I think you're trying to it's a little I would have to read your essay to understand what it is, but I think you're comparing personal identity to bridge personal identity with online identity or something internal with something external. So hear me out. The personal identity has both internal. So the personal identity has both internal and physical properties. And then the external, like your online persona, has internal and external properties. So like, how does art, or you might be saying, how does visual art bridge internal identity to an external identity? Which both of these have physical and internal properties, right? Your internal identity has physical presentation, so does your external one. Now, it's interesting to think of it differently where, so there are many levels. So I'm kind of interested in what your essay is about now. Are you talking about personal versus public? Internal versus external? Or personal as in literal and online? So in this way, it would be more like IRL versus online. It's not super established yet. 1,300 words in. You can achieve a lot of things with 1K words, but we'll see. I mean, like that's a very interesting topic. And then this here would be visual art, right? So I would imagine some of the ideas that would be involved. You did 2 sets of artists research within it, but yeah, you can go through it. Okay, like because yeah. That's interesting. More on that later, I suppose. Bridge the disconnect. Yeah, I think the way you're phrasing it is suggesting that there is a disconnect. So everything is going to be framed around the idea that there's a disconnect. Interesting. Go ahead off. A Chinese roommate offered to share her coursework sketchbook. Oh yeah. There's a disconnect in your opinion? Well, there is a connection too. So your entire essay is going to be about just disconnect. Is how you titled the thing. And then you're saying you're trying to bridge it. I don't know about you, but that's kind of setting up a paradox. Because if you want to bridge something, you connect them. So hopefully you're establishing the disconnect, and your idea is to offer bridges to connect them. Like, how can visual art bridge a connection between internal identity, physical presentation, and online persona when people feel a disconnect? So like, you're looking to connect or oversee the disconnect. So you're creating connections in order to bridge a disconnect. So they're two separate statements. The way you're stating it to me is like someone who assumes there's a disconnect, so there's no bridge. Like if you're presuming in your opinion that there is a disconnect, then there is no bridge to be made. You're trying to create a connection for the disconnect. So I'm curious how you're gonna present that. It'll be interesting. Before I guess maybe before you leave, I think you're talking about the disconnect of others, the external. However, I know that you've mentioned your disconnect with yourself, your internal, and your work. The disconnect between your work and your internal things. But this is a skill issue that you're referring to. The skill issue of expression versus the disconnect from an external source versus your internal source. As in like someone else's interpretation. Like an online persona is interpreted by other people. So those other people have a disconnect. This is fundamental. People will have a disconnect with you because they're not you. So that's a fundamental. This is a human condition. And then this one is also a human condition, where you have a disconnect between the way you're trying to express yourself, the way you're projecting yourself, versus what you think inside. So they're two separate things. I think the thing that you're referring to is your artwork, which is you're trying to make something and you can't seem to express it the way you want to express it, as opposed to caring about the external, which is how people interpret your artwork and misinterpreting your artwork, kind of like what we have right here when I'm reading your sentences. There's a disconnect between that, and how would you bridge the disconnect between me misunderstanding what you're writing versus what you're trying to write? And then you can also talk about the disconnect about not having enough English skills or grammar skills or whatever. You feel like you're trying to say something, but you're unable to say it. Either a disconnect with yourself or a disconnect with other people. And I'm curious how you're gonna spin, which way you're gonna spin it. It's a very important topic, especially in artwork, I suppose. I have a big hot take here, but we'll save it for another time. Like a super hot take. If anyone's interested. We'll talk about it later. Alright. Let's see. Yugi is in the bathroom of the house. More sickness. Get well. So Yugi is in the bathroom of the house and is trying to get more rest and taking a nice more rest. His troubles with the ancient evil spirits. It's to coming back to get well. Sickness, fatigue. It's okay. It was okay.
玉 鸡
Famine. Tea and famine? Wasn't there a starve? I'm pretty sure there was a starve. Or like... Yes, there was a starve. That's G. And I think it's off the same character. Nope, it's not. Oh no. I think then it's gotta have food in it, right? Oh, it's the table. Starving. G, okay. They used a table and then now they substituted for machine. Or just use machine as opposed to Cocoon Man. Oh, which by the way, Crazy, if you're still here, when you talked about how when it got more humid and it can be a problem with like wood floors for cleaning, I was like on break and I had the thought like, oh, I could the only way I really relate to the whole wood thing is back in the day I used to bowl, and whenever it rains and gets humid, holy moly, that's when you know you're going to stick and it's gonna make like, because bowling alleys use wood floors, right? Like they oil and use wood floors and wood panels, and then it's oiled and on the lanes. Whenever you have humid days, the first thing you typically expect when you put on your shoes and go bowling is that if you commit in the beginning, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. You're gonna stick right to the wood floor because of the humidity. And that was what made me thought about it. It's like, oh yeah, that's a good point about the wooden floors. Especially when it's humid outside after a rain. Alright. Neutron is in front. Let's see. He has invented a new food machine to solve the famine going around. Famine is happening. Unfortunately, it ended up making everyone fat.
鸡卵
Luan? What in the world is that? It looks like a... Oh man, this character is so confused. You're trying to be a Lian or a... Oh! I forgot about Twin though. Twin is good. All I could think about is like Bien, Bien and Lian. But I totally forgot about twins. And then it has a mountain. Twin mountains. Maybe we could do like... How did the Luke thing work? Tapestry kits. Okay. Oh, this has got to be the other character on today's list. Mountain range. I see that Abdul is around too. Okay. A tapestry of mountains, huh? Luke Skywalker is inside the pawn shop where he's trying to buy a tapestry of a mountain range. However, the owner refuses to sell it to him because he is a Jedi. Luke really wants it because the mountain on tapestry reminds him of his home planet. I was gonna do something similar, so I think that's okay. He just simply uses his Jedi mind trick to acquire it, you know?
Luan.
Yeah, the other Luan. Okay, so... Contracts. Luke Skywalker is inside the pawn shop dealing with a strange tapestry that was recently pawned to them. Every time he touches it with his hand, the tapestry contracts, turning into a scrunch bunch. Okay. Oh, that type of contract, not a contract. Oh, that's interesting. English is so weird. Contract versus contract. Oh, why English? Let's see. So sure.
卵 冰
That one's rough.
卵
Man, you know, I would love to do like essay reviews or like working together essay streams or something. Maybe that's what we're gonna, maybe that's what I'll do with our target language. It's kind of a bit of a stretch though. That's being a little bit too ambitious too
鸡
soon. I'm kind of already doing that now where
玉
improvising and trying to understand the stuff. Hmm.
卵脸
Lian? Ooh. What can I gather from this? Lian on the right is sincerity or honest, right? And then we have metal, right? Honest, yeah. So let's just use honest. So Link is inside the pawn shop. He was given quest to make he given quest to make an honest trade for a special metal sickle to fulfill another quest. Sickle. I don't know anymore.
脸
A second hand for a special second hand metal sickle. Okay.
零
Ling. Damask? What in the world is... Oh, a silk? Hold up. Is that a flower? Or is that a pattern? Damask is a firm, reversible... Wait. How do you...
Damask.
Damask. Oh my goodness. Damask is a firm, reversible... What is this word? Jacquard? Jacquard? Goodness. Woven fabric featuring intricate patterns. Wait, is this this? Okay, it is describing a fabric. Okay, not printed. It's woven. All right, it's a woven, reversible. I see. Damask. Wow. The more you know. So hold on. The elbow, this thing on the right is kind of sus at best. Really sus. Oh, okay. Alright. Oh no, wait, it's not this one. It's not mushroom. Mushroom is good. Mushroom is good. Yeah, mushroom's fine. Link is inside the English manor where he's haggling over damask silk he wants to buy from the foreman who has set up shop in one of the luxurious carpeted halls. Link offers a single mushroom for the damask silk, which incidentally has a mushroom embroidered on it. The foreman laughs at Zara and reaches good enough.
Ling.
And it has silk in it.
Dian.
Okay, fair enough. Dian? Oh, this must be that Dian. Yeah. Other than that, ni one la. One is the other one, but Dian, yeah. Don't really use this. It's kind of, if there's any like really, I'm pretty sure this is the character or the spoken. Quite rude. Quite rude. If this is the one that I'm thinking of. Quite rude. Diddy Kong is in front of the pawn shop where he is slowly going insane. He is covered with snot. Wait, hold up. Ian is inverted, right? This is inverted. Yeah, invert. Which is really bad. On shop, huh? Let's rewrite this a little. Okay. DK is in front of the pawn shop where he is hanging inverted to try to get rid of some snot that's driving him insane. He has a second and book filled with pages on how to truly fix the snot problem driving. Just repeating a bunch of things.
Dian. Ta.
Ta. Scraping sound. Alright, so there's the utterance. What is the right? Oh. Rub. Right? It's either rub or scrub. Rub or scrub, like something like that. Scrub. Okay. But this whole thing is to examine. Cha? I get the scraping sound with the thing is pretty interesting. Alright, however, we want to use examine just to keep it consistent here. Alright, so Casper is in front of the auditorium and is trying to help out. Help with help with greeting the patrons. All the patrons. Here's a weird scraping sound. I don't know. Maybe like maybe he's in front of a haunted auditorium where he hears he's in trying to help greet the patrons in line when heard a weird scraping sound to go and examine it. Turns out was a patron trying to and with his cats. It's okay. Mouth is kind of just there now. It's a sound. I think I might actually even change this to, instead of using mouth, it's more like sound. I don't know yet.
擦 赞
Done for praise. Done. Oh, that's praise. But now it just has word in it. What was the other one? A gift? Oh no, it's done for oh no, it's done, yeah. It's just vanilla done. To praise is to praise. Okay, I see. I think this is okay. I'm just gonna go with it.
赞
Oops. This is just praise. Alright.
连边零
Damask? Damask? I don't remember. Oh no.
赞 擦
Alright. And then we got two left. Bing, what is that? Well, there's Bing for guest or visitor, that's fine. What is it's a palm? Okay, hold up. A tree? Oh no. It's a... Oh, okay, it's a specific type of... Okay. It's a leaves, okay. A type of tree. It's an Asian evergreen vine in the pepper family. Eyes were glossy, heart-shaped. Oh, interesting. I've learned so many. I've learned so many different plants lately. These leaves are traditionally chewed as a mild stimulant, typically wrapped around areca nuts or patel nuts and mineral lime. Interesting. Kind of reminds me of an alternative medicine. Yeah. We'll Okay. So Bigfoot is in front of the infirmary where he finds a strange visitor on the infirmary lawn. The visitor has bought a tree, a beetle?
Beetle.
Beetle. I've since lost all my valuation, like my vowel predictions for English is all sorts of screwy now. Like I'm saying beetle because be, right? Be, but it's actually defaulting to B, which is actually the more common way to read this. But I defaulted to pedal. Like pedal as in like closer to this pedal or this pedal. And then now I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, okay, beetle? That's interesting. Let's talk about English for a moment, right? We talk about our target language right now, Chinese, about the tonality and all that, but look at this word. You have, well, it's clearly not pedal, which that's not a word, but pedal is also good. And then there's pedal, right? As a way to modify this. But then there's beetle. But that's not how you spell beetle. Beetle is spelled this way. What else could I screw up here in English? There's also kettle, but kettle is not spelled this way. Kettle is spelled with 2 T's. That's interesting. The more you know. Is there any other weird thing about English? I can talk about this all day. Like just Bing, right? Bing, this is Bing. Like when I read this, it's Bing. If I had to guess and I didn't know what this, if someone gave me this character, right, and just say, what does it sound like? And my first thought is, well, this looks like Bing, so it's Bing. This doesn't tell you anything about its sound. But then when I read the English word, I'm like, beetle, beetle, Patel, because it can be any, like, it could be any language of origin, so to speak. Like it has to deal with the language of origin, because you could have like a really weird pronunciation of this just because it's like a name of something in English, and I'm like, I don't know what that sounds like. And I failed. I said battle. According to this, it's beetle, but where's my second E? Okay. Alright. That's enough, that's enough poking fun at English. Alright. So on the beetle leaves can help patients. Bigfoot goes over and helps him hold the beetle palm as they place in. Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
冰 吃
Idiotic. Doubt and sickness. Interesting. It's not like the other idiotic that... Wait, is it? No, it was 知. Okay. Charlie Brown is in front of the house. You know, we're just gonna write doubt, right? As opposed to zombie. I think we're gonna go with doubt. So Charlie Brown is in front of the house. He walking around. Trying to help an idiot with their sickness. He doubts that this will turn out well. His doubt was confirmed when he got sick from trying to. Okay. Okay. All right. We're good.
吃
And those are our last two.
冰
What is it? Beetle?
吃
All right. Here we go. That's it. There's no fanfare or anything. But here we are. Here we are. All right. Special day. Day 400 and, well, I guess it's technically, yeah. Day 487 minus 5 days because we were at Otakon, right? The way to know where the 5 days are is right here. This is when Otakon happened. Otakon 2025. And then every single day, right? Every single day. So we reach our milestone here. Every single character in the traditional list, and this is what it looks like right here. Now we still got some vocabulary to do, so there's still vocabulary words. It's kind of interesting that this barely looks like it's moving even though this part here actually started flattening out because of our vocabulary words. So starting tomorrow we have 11 days. Yeah, 11 days, including tomorrow, to see if we can knock this down, to at least knock out all the characters and then start wrapping and unlocking all the other words, right? Then we would truly have exhausted all our lessons. What an interesting time. I talked about this before, where I typically focus on the process the entire time, and whenever I reach new goals, it isn't as exciting to me. It doesn't bring me as much pleasure as I feel that the people I talk to feel. Like the idea of, oh, we're finally done, or we finally reach it, let's go celebrate. It feels like another day. I'm not saying that it doesn't feel good, right? It's really awesome that we can finally say, hey, look, we did it. The thing is, it's kind of like when I graduate, when I defended my thesis, the day felt good, right? It felt good. However, the distance between the day before and the day of really was not as big as it typically is, because I often try to maximize the time it took, right? The time it took to get to a point. And the time between here and the next day is fairly insignificant to all the time that you spent doing the things. So while I'm not trying to downplay this, I am pretty exciting to reach another milestone in these things. The idea is I've enjoyed the process of doing this day in and day out for the last year and a half, right? And this is really good. It's an extra day. It's a little bit more a more exciting day. However, in the larger scope of things, right? Doing the last 12 is not the same as doing the last 3,857 of the other ones. We have our up days and our down days. All right, let's go through our active recall though. This active recall will still allow me to do my future reviews in a regular time. So let's go over our last 3 days here. Last routine before we swap it up. Okay. So what do we have? Oh no, it starts with the weird one. How does this work? Y'all. And what was y'all? Oh. Yen. Alkali. Fun. Stumble. Xiang. Consider. Or not consider. Entertaining. Me. Overflow. Yao. Yao. Meat dish. Wa. How do wa work? I don't remember. Oh, low lying. Oh no, low lying is getting lost already. Pimple. Dian. Cocoon. E. Addiction. E. Of it. Yao. Dark. Yao. I wanted to say entangled. That doesn't seem right with silk, does it? Okay. Qian, repent. Xie, unexpectedly meet. Dun. Dun. wonton. Sure. Delicate. Chin. Cheekbone. Chin. Chin. Leap up. Chin. Grip. Yeah. Lust. Pretty sure. Oh goodness. No. Yeah. It's definitely beer. Right? But I don't know why it's beer. Oh no, it's not. Oh goodness, it's you. How does you work? Oh, was it the key thing? Oh, key, page, looking, bamboo, the bamboo key, bleed. Okay, that's a my bad right there. T. Fasten? Or like fasten? Rong? Oh no, what type of tree is this? It's not an elm tree. Is it an elm tree? I think it's a oh man, I don't know these trees. A banyan? Let's just say a banyan. Shang forward. This is wrong for hibiscus. Oh, is this the one that I'm thinking of? No, it's not. Cool. Something about creating a dinner dish for the tiger. Oh, cranium. Heck. Serving the cranium. This wrong is melt. Ling. Unicorn. Oh, is it this? Is this Bie? I got Bie stuck in the brain now. What else could this be? Oh my gosh, deflated. Yeah, to deflate the tent because of people out sick for the day. Yell, eagle. What? My inclination is to write like a guan, but G maybe. Oh my gosh, one. Recoil up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. There's no secondhand things though. Maybe secondhand silk. It's a bird. I'm gonna say yin. And it's not a hawk. Not a geese. Is it a... Oh my gosh, it's fake. Yeah, I'm gonna get faked out by this so often. Yeah, this one's gonna be tough. Tougher than the other 4 stops. Jiao, seller. Law. Mule. Brew. Elaborate. Oh no, which one's which? I want to say this is T. Nope, it's 2 for maple. That sucks. Okay. Okay. Zong. Zong. Concentrate. Lee. Not gong. What is the metal gauze for? He's patching up something. Oh, it is gong. Oh, okay. Then it is law. That's kind of weak. And this is chi. Whisper. And then new stuff. We got new stuff. Being close to Lan, mountain range. T, starve. Oh no, famine. Yeah. Get well. Lan. Contract. Lien. Sickle. Ian. Insane. Bling. Amisk. Done. Praise. Scraping sound. Bing. Beetle. Sure. Idiotic. Alright. So how do I drop this? What did we drop first? Yeah. Bamboo key. Dropped bamboo key. Wrong. That's you know it or you don't. Type of tree. Banyan. Yes. Banyan, banyan. Cool. We need to read. We gotta think about the page being a body part. Cranium. Yeah. The drop was the sick for a day, which leads to deflated. That's really rough. Yen. How did I lose yen? Maybe like the birds are fake. Two. Gotta know two. There's no way around it. Ooh, what is that? Maple. Maybe the relatives are I have nothing for maple. Yeah, you know it or you don't. Law. The gods is supposed to patch up the gong. Yeah, fine. Okay. Yeah, still got one more. One more to do. Let's go back to our April stuff. Gotta keep this up while we do our review. So then all of these would be good to go. So what we got here? Soul or revive. Shen, which is Shen. Uh, or high. These two are tough. Sway, hero the plant, hero plant. This is yeah, that was a serious problem. Glance. Xiang aid, which was yesterday's. We've gone over most of these. Almost all of these were problematic. Scar. Okay. Shin. Basil. Zi. Unrestrained. Pool. Garden. Nope. Pool. Absent-minded. What was It's a moth. Moth. Sugar cane. Owl. Roar. Sway. Gather together. I want to say Shun. Oh no, that's Shun. Xiang. Part of day. This one was rough. Part of day. Ling. Chili. Zhi. Wash. Jun. Prefecture. Li. Shiver. That's not Shun, is it? That was Shun. Soul and Mutant. I want to say it's Yo. Oh no. Chen? Really? Sincere. That is so tough. Okay. That is so tough. Not a G. G. Oof, palpitate. I don't know what to do about palpitate. Oh, we did with like season, like hay fever or something, and palpitate. Yeah. Yeah, this is mustard. So, thatch. I think that's thatch. Yep. Holy tree. Oh, no, wait, it's not tree. Tree. It's a mallet. Did I do grass for them? I don't think I don't know if I did grass. No, that's a go. My thought is Qiao to raise foot, but I don't think so. I think this is Xiao. Nope. It's a Yao. For Sage King, I have no idea what to do about this. Sage King. Either you know it or you don't. Or maybe converting all the Go boards to a Sage King would be okay. Always playing Go with the Sage King. What in the world? Say it's Ke. But how does Ke work? Probably to overcome as well, yeah. Wu. Falsely accused. Meng? What tree is this? It's a lemon. I didn't think it was a lemon. I was itching to the lemon or the pomelo. Lemon. I thought of Hung immediately. I don't think it's I think it's okay, so it does deal with Stephen. That doesn't work either. Not that good. Something like a shrine. Special spray. Trap them with special spray. Among. This is C. Eh? Makes me want to doll. Some sort of sickness. Simple. Not good. Oh, what was our da? So I guess we're gonna link it with da. Rain, bone. I don't think that's a prospector. I think this is rule. Ain't no way I'm gonna be able to do that. No is so outside. What is that? Was it glutinous or something? No, it was coward. Oh, the true. I have no idea where that's going. It's a prospector. Or isn't it? Cowardly prospector. I'll have to look up. Way? No. Way, stride. Owl? Oh yeah, trample, okay. That's okay. Cool. Probably the like stamp feet thing. Cool. Bat. APN or Henan. Okay. What the? That's supposed to be pool. Pool for. Oh no. Pop? No, it's not pop. Puff. Puff. More like an utterance puff. Like to puff up. I think. What? Kettle and turkey. Makes me think of Yao, but Jue? Oh no. It's the chasing with the owl. J. Oh my. Send help. Okay. So let me think about this. What do we have? No idea what to do about that. Maybe somehow he got turned into a mutant by wearing a crown. Soul. Soul was altered. His soul was mutated by a crown. This one. Trying to think of seasonal. It's a seasonal problem. And yet I still can't figure out what it is, even though I focus palpitate. Okay. Always Sage King. Sage King is top dog. And go. Mung. Lemon. That's if you know it or you don't. Chun. Probably line up with the other Chun for pouring wine. So the spray. Just go with spray of wine. This is gonna be for the other pimple. No, I need to look that up. And J is kind of a poor thing, even though J does have, the other J has turkey. This doesn't line up well because neither of them really carries sound. I have to imagine chasing. Chasing is the J. Okay. Let's look at you, Howard. It's oh, it's not. It's separate things. Oh, then what word did I use? Does line up with glutinous. Is it obligation? Oh, it's obligation. Okay. Obligation. Okay. I dropped obligation. So this part. Obligation. Okay. Well, all right. Now we go and try to recruit all our vocabulary. Not bad. This line looks pretty solid, you know? So we took like a 5-day break here. And then This is the end of March, right? And then we're trying to close up all of this using more recall. This is the accelerated months, which was basically it was all of April and then half of May. Are we on the 14th? And yep, and most of it's down here. So that's it. Now we start consolidating and working on all of our vocabulary. At least we've seen every single character, or like seen them at least once. You know, the 3,869 characters. I think there are a couple more that I've seen, but isn't on here. So what we're probably gonna do is, as we're catching up, so the next like 11 days, right? The next 11 days is to unlock vocabulary. There are, I'm gonna say, approximately 80, possibly 80 vocabulary. And that's through doing our character review. Gotta do the existing character reviews. The alternative is to click off the character review requirements and then unlock it that way, but I think we're gonna be fine. 1 or 2 days of character reviews would probably unlock them at this point. Otherwise, we'll play by ear. 11 days. Then 11 days, all of this will then lead to our 500-day tentative take, along with... And this one is going to come up first, because Wanikani has fewer sessions now because of every 5th day, roughly every 5th day, being an off day, being a 0 day. So this is what our next plan is for May. We'll pretty much review what I've been starting to do to fill in the characters. And also, like, a recent milestone was that things are now falling out of rotation. And this happened... It could have been earlier, but I think it happened sometime around... May as well, like beginning of May. I want to say roughly around May 1st, when things are going out of rotation. So I actually have been looking at these things because the volume is still low. And then everything else, we're going to try to encode it a little bit better as we're going, or like reinforce them. So we'll do our reviews with more scrutiny now that we don't necessarily have lessons. That's it for today. Yeah. That's it for HanziHero today. If you're gonna watch this later, 谢谢. As always, feel free to follow along, pick up HanziHero for yourself, give it a go. You're always welcome to come on by and yap, share thoughts, experiences, keep each other motivated. So until next time, 大家下次见. 感谢观看. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.